Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another video with Brooklyn. How are you doing this marvelous Monday morning? I hope you all had a good night's sleep, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week, okay? So I want to jump right into the video. I want to talk about President Joe Biden's fall. He had a fall, and from what I can see, it looked like he fell up the stairs in the picture that I seen. I didn't see a video. I seen it look like he was going up the stairs and he fell up the stairs. That's what it looked like. And a lot of people are on social media laughing and picking at the man because he had a trip and he fell. But the most important thing that Joe Biden could have done was fallen and get right back up. Okay? People fall every day, and it's not just because he's an older man. People fall all the time. If you have 2 feet and you can walk, you're going to fall. It happens to everybody, okay? He didn't have a fall from grace. He wasn't high. He wasn't drunk. He fell. Everyone's feet trips up. Everyone's feet can go left at any given time. I mean, it just happens. It's an accident. And people are on here. This is what I don't understand. People are taking this presidential election between Joe Biden and Trump personal. They're taking it personal. Neither one of these men know who you are. Okay? They're in the White House doing what they think they're supposed to do, doing what they think is right. Whether it's wrong or not, whatever Trump did, Trump thought he was doing it in the best interest of whoever he was doing it for, because it was not for the American people. A lot of American people got hurt underneath Trump's administration, okay? Biden is in the White House. He's doing what he thinks he can do, all right? He's doing what he thinks is right. And some people are feeling like they're being hurt and like they're being slighted underneath Joe Biden's administration, okay? But you can't take it personal how someone else does their job. And if one opponent beats out another opponent, this man fell and people think it's funny, but if it was their mother or their father or their grandmother or grandfather and they slipped and fell and people was ha-ha and he-heing, they would be totally upset with it. They wouldn't like it, even if themselves fell and someone laughed, because when you fall, people do laugh because it tickles you. I've seen plenty of people fall, and it's the way they land sometimes, especially when you realize that they're not really hurt. It's the way they land. Their legs go all over the place. Their arms is twisted back this way. Their head laying this way, and you get tickled. You do. But I think in this case, people are laughing because they are taking it personally. They're hoping that he gets hurt. They're hoping that he gets wounded and injured, and that to me is people are just mean. It's no, get over it. He won. And I think a lot of the jabs and everything that's going toward Joe Biden's administration is just personal feelings and personal hurts, because people are taking it personal that their party lost. Let the man do his job. We don't know what the next 4 years will entail, but nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect. How would you like it if you was going up a flight of stairs to the airplane or to your apartment and you fell? I have slipped and fell coming up the steps to my house, and I was by myself, and that's embarrassing. So I know he's human. I know he was embarrassed falling on camera. People got it on camera, okay? It's in the tabloids all over the place. And falling by yourself, you're embarrassed. Falling alone when nobody can see you, like, oh, Lord, I fell one day in here in the house. Across a chase in the living room. A chase, a chase, if you don't know what a chase is a long chair that you can lounge on. I was trying to stand up and I fell all behind it in the house by myself, embarrassed in front of myself. So I know that he was embarrassed, but you get back up. We fall down, but we get back up. Okay? What's the song that Donnie McClurkin made? We fall down, but we get up. A saint is just a sinner who fell down, but but got right back up. So we all fall, whether it's in the natural or whether it's spiritually. We all fall. But every day we can start anew. That fall is behind him. People are still talking about it, but the fall is over. It's done. It's gone. I didn't even bother reading the article. I seen the picture, and I've seen different people on social media making little snide remarks about it, and laughing about it and ha-ha and he-he, but at the end of the day, he still can get up and walk. He still has his life. It's not like he fell from grace and he's humiliated and people are trying to put him in prison. People are trying to go after him, but I think it's a lot of just personal vendettas. People hate people because of someone else. How many times has someone disliked you because of what someone else told them? And they didn't even know the whole truth. They just went by what somebody else told them, and they don't like you. They hate you because of some information that was wrong because someone else had a vendetta against you. That's what's going on here. At the end of the day, before Joe Biden, people knew who Joe Biden was, but before he became president, you really didn't hear much about Joe Biden until he started running for president, even though he was vice president, okay? But everyone knew how evil and mean Trump was back when he had the Apprentice show. Just him being in the news, everyone knew something about Trump. You know what I'm saying? But then when they got in there and started spewing a lot of things about Joe Biden, people took it that it was necessarily true. I could say the same thing about Trump. Everything they say about Trump probably may not be true. But a lot of things Trump do, he prove it to be true. He's very bold, and that's happened to me a lot of times. People have said things to other women about me, and the women hate me. They don't like me. And then when I get to talking to them, they get to know who I am. They have came out of their mouths and said, you're nothing like what they said about you. You're totally a different person. You're not uppity. You're not snobby. You're very friendly. You're very sociable. People take things from other people, and you should not judge someone on what someone else says. Look at what he's doing and make your judge from what he's doing. He hasn't even been in there 6 months yet. Okay? People are already griping about the decisions that he is making. People are already griping about that. But they're not having a problem cashing them stimulus checks that's underneath his administration. Because for those of you who don't know, before Trump left administration, he signed a bill that your stimulus check goes to the IRS and any other government agency that you owe money to. You do not get the stimulus check. That was underneath Trump's administration, December 2020. So if you owe any taxes and you don't get a stimulus check, that's because Trump signed a bill for it to go to the IRS before he left office. Now, if you happen to get it and it didn't go to IRS, well, lucky you. But a lot of Americans' stimulus check, the $1,200 and the $600, went to the IRS if they owe taxes. So it doesn't matter if you're homeless. It doesn't matter if you're jobless. IRS gets their money. He signed a bill, okay? But underneath the Joe Biden's administration, this new bill that they passed for the $600, and I don't know if the $1,400 has been passed or not, I haven't been keeping up with it. They're not having a problem cashing them checks. You don't like the man, but you're cashing those checks. And one thing I do wish that he would correct is if you owe money to the government, you would not get a stimulus check. Homeless, can't pay your rent, whatever the case may be, you're not getting it. I know a lot of people whose checks are going to the IRS and any government agency that they owe money to. They're not getting this. They're treating this stimulus check as a refund from the government. And do I think that's fair? No, because I'm sure Joe Biden knows about that bill. I'm sure he does. So saying you're helping the American people, both presidents to me are not helping everyone in America. You have to be in good standings with the government to get help from the government. Even with the $1,200, A lot of people didn't get that money. And then when they filed their taxes in January, that $1,200 along with the $600 went to the government. And I know that firsthand, but this video is not about stimulus checks. But what I'm saying is people don't have a problem cashing those checks, but taking it from someone who they consider to be the enemy, but they'll spend their money. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't do both. If you don't like somebody, why take something from them? Send it back. Don't cash it. Let it go void. Don't cash it. I don't like Biden. I don't like his administration. I'm not cashing this check. I don't want nothing from him. That's how I am. If you're an enemy of mine, I don't want anything that you have. I know people are saying that's crazy. Why would she say that? It's take the money. But you don't have a problem cashing the check. You don't have a problem asking them for help if you're in problems and you want housing and you want things to be in your favor. That's how people did Trump. You didn't like Trump, but you didn't have a problem cashing that $1,200 check if you got that check. You didn't have a problem not paying your rent when they set up the rent defense. So they're good for some things in your eyes, but other things, ha ha he failed. Ha ha he, I hope he lose. He cheated. Ha ha he, I'm glad he got voted out of the White House. Ha ha he, oh, he giving me money? Oh, I'll take that. It's a lot of hypocritical behavior going on out here. The man fell, and thank God he didn't fall over the side and kill himself, because I'm sure people would just be thinking that was hilarious right now, because people just don't have compassion for mankind, for their human race. At the end of the day, Joe Biden and Trump are human beings. They are men, mere men. And they both make error. They both make mistakes. Some people, now me, I don't believe a mistake. I believe a mistake is done when you just don't know. That's my belief. You just don't know and you make a mistake. But when you willfully do something and it turns out for the bad and people are telling you not to do this, that's not a mistake. You willfully did something wrong and it affected other people. Okay? So he may do some things in the future that's willfully wrong. He's human. Do not get your hopes and your trust up in these people, because at the end of the day, they are human and they're going to disappoint. If you have your trust in anyone other than God, you will be disappointed. And sometimes you're disappointed with him, but it's for your best, because he looks out for you to make sure that he has your best interest at hand. So a lot of times things don't work out in your favor, but it really was in your favor because it was for your best. That's a totally different story. But when you have your trust in mere men, look out, here comes disappointment. If you have your total trust in Biden that he's going to make the world a better place, here comes disappointment, because he's a man and he cannot make the world a better place. This world will never be a better place. This world is it's corrupt and it's destructive. And it's never it was like this from the beginning of time. It was not meant to be, but we have free will. We have free will to do what we want to do and suffer consequences, whether good or bad. So he does not have the power in his hands to make the world, the United States, a better place. And him working with other dignitaries across the world, they do not have the power in their hands to make the world a better place. It's not going to happen. So you will be disappointed in the next 4 years, in the 4 years after that, in the 4 years after that. You may face disappointment today. Okay? But it's not like that your people are laughing at him because he fell and landed a funny way and it just struck your funny bone. They're laughing because they really, really hate Biden and they want his harm. And that's where the problem comes in. I have laughed at people who fail because it just be hysterical. I fell one time in the bank. I had my hands in my pocket. I was 12 years old and I leaned up against the little dividers, the little rope dividers that separate you in the line. I leaned against that, flipped over, and I was on the floor swapping around like a seal with my hands in my pocket. Could not get up. Customers were laughing. My mom was there. It was funny. I wasn't hurt. I was embarrassed, But what I'm saying is, you do laugh when people fall because things happen to their body the way it twists. But to laugh and thinking, I just hate somebody, I hope something happened to them, that's where the problem comes in. And you have to be careful what's in here because, again, you may not believe it, but what goes around comes around. You reap exactly what you sow. And when it's your turn, you're going to be remembering what you did and how it happened. And then you're going to want sympathy and it's not going to be there for you. Because you reap it and it's always 10 times, 20 times, 30 times worse than what you put out. You know? So I'm going to close with that. And I'm going to say vielen Dank. That's thank you very much in German. So vielen Dank for watching me. And choose, that's what? That's bye in German.